Hey guys, Monday, October 28th, 2024, U.S. session close. Let's see what the Black Widow did today. So far, looking at the point of control on the monthly, so I'm kind of expanding out. With the change of contract, we are right back at point of control on the monthly. Now that we adjusted, looking at our weekly, we are above point of control, which is 260. This line is going to be interesting. This is an anchored VWAP from the 1002 high of August 20, is it the 23rd, 22nd? Yeah, 2022. And you can see that it's been resistance there, been resistance here, was resistance here of the week of 9/30, September 30th. Let's see if we kiss it again, if it's going to be another resistance down. And keep in mind that we are in October, which is getting very toppy seasonality-wise on nat gas. As you can see, using our, let's see, what's the, yep, so anchor VWAP from our lowest 152 low, February the 20th. You can see that we found support here. We've been finding support here. It gets choppy here. Change of contract, nice gap. And we opened, what, a 285, if I'm right? Yep, 285. Got a point of control here. Value area high of $3. So the question is it going to fill this gap now? Or is it going to rally a little more and then turn and follow seasonality weakness into November, December, and fill that gap, and maybe fill some that I know that are down there? That remains all to be seen. Let's go into our simple glance and see what we got here. So looking at our simple glance chart, PPS buy signal back up again. The Mobos, so far looking good. You see weekly, we above and out of the cloud. So in the short time frame, that's good. In the mid time frame is good. It's positive. Cloud looks like it's about to turn positive. Linear regression channels are pointing up. Above the 20, the 50, the 100. I believe the 200 is all the way up here. And you probably want to keep an eye out if we continue grinding higher. This linear regression channel here. MACD is positive. Let's look at the daily. Change of contract. Nice big gap to here. You're out of the cloud, out of the danger zone. So this was the area to accumulate. I prefer here, but sometimes you don't get what you get. You just take what the market gives you. MACD is positive, so that's looking good. Let's go into our geometry. So it's going to be interesting here. Let's zoom in here. Oops. Let's zoom in here. Did I zoom in anything? There you go. So change of contract, 285. Hendrix Pitchfork. APF. Wow, look at that. How you like them apples? Change of contract right into the angle. And that angle goes just like that, and we just hit it right there. Now the question is, can we push higher? Test this pivot high here? And is it going to turn down? I don't know. That remains to be seen. Or is it just going to fill right here? And this week just start zigzagging to fill this gap. But you do got a trend line an angle holding right here. But then you have an angle of resistance right here, and that's where we open right there. So that's interesting. That's, we just have to see if we could push higher, but then this would be your target, which would be 302. Let's look at our channel and see if we get any clues there. Yep, it's in the channel on the bottom part of the channel, which is this one right here and this one right here going up. So what we want to see is not get out of the channel, but now grind sideways to higher test this, and if it has a little Momo, maybe test that. And I'll be showing you, and I've been showing you some dates to watch into the future just in case we go grinding higher. But if it's a head fake, and I know some of you are concerned, is like, is it going to turn here? Well, just know that between October and November, nat gas gets toppy. And what I mean toppy is that she kind of stalls, she kind of tricks you, thinks like she's going to explode higher, but then she stalls out and then follows, you know, seasonality wise, going lower into December, November, December. So it could be early or it could be later to get some liquidity out here and then turn, or just totally ignore seasonality and just continue going higher. Keep in mind, we have elections. Some say, you know, Trump, he's probably, you know, pro nat gas and energy and all that. So who knows? Maybe things might change, you know, if he wins. We don't know yet. So that's all speculation. But I just wanted to kind of, you know, let you know what I'm thinking there. FT levels, interesting. We hit right there. This is what I call the DNA of nat gas. So we're right here. If we take out 270, is that 278? Yeah, 278. The chances are we're gonna get down to here to 239. But if we continue from here, like I said, those are your key levels there. But so far we are at the FT levels. Let's see. Gap fills. Don't you like those gap fills? We have one right here. Or a change of contract, because I know some of you guys are, you know, it's not a gap fill. It's a change of contract gap fill, if you want to call it that way. So we got two here. And this is a big one. So let's see how this is going to play out. So that's your gap fill. Let's see. We're somewhere behind this sign. So, I mean, if it's going to go moving, you know, what I call MMs, measured moves, obviously this is your first target. And 312, 335, I mean, extreme will be 379. If I get to 379, that's a good target. Let's continue. Trend lines. Wow, look at that. On a trend line, it's stalled. And I believe this is, if I forget, this is non-log scale chart. So on a log scale chart, let's go over here. On the log scale chart, which is this one, let's see what that looks like on a trend line. Yeah, you got a little more to go on the log scale chart, but on a non-log scale chart, we kissed it right there. And where's that trend line coming from? Where is that trend line coming from? Let's go way back. Let's go 3 years. Where am I getting that trend line? Ah, there you go, right here. This is your 1027 high at 363. Am I right? My memory's good. At a 363 high. Yep, 363, 364. That trend line, it's here. Got choppy here, and we're kissing it right there. So I'm not, you know, so you know that I'm not just putting lines. Some people see some of my charts and it's like, man, this guy has a lot of lines. Oh, you don't even know what Gann does. When it comes to lines, you're gonna think I'm a saint compared to like lines or Gann. But I digress. Let's go. Let's see here. SO dates. So change of contract. This is my 3/4. So there's a trader that actually tipped me $5. Thank you. Appreciate it. I don't get a lot of tips lately. So when I do get it, I feel like, you know, I get excited because I feel like I'm doing something. So thank you, whoever gave me the $5 tip. So the person was asking, what, like we broke some support. I don't know if this person was aware there was a change of contract, but nonetheless, this is the scenario that I'm watching. We have a couple of things, and I haven't looked at the Elliott wave, so I'm not going to include that. But there's a red projection line I have that turns here and it goes up. I'm leaning on that, but know that it's going against a lot of stuff. And that's like a kind of like a Gann theory that I'm using. And that cycle goes up and then it kind of stalls, which kind of, leads me that maybe we don't stall here as an October high that we know seasonality wise, it kind of gets toppy. It might try to push into November and then stall. Now, what will avoid this stallness is that, I don't know, maybe Trump wins and some of the energy sector says, like, he's going to be good with nat gas and all this other stuff. And it just doesn't stall. It just kind of goes sideways, or it could just continue grinding higher. That all remains to be seen. That's all speculation. So that's the first part. The second thing, that if you are a bull, and I am a bull, what concerns me is that the commitments of traders report, the large speculators are short. That goes against us bulls. Because the big money's thinking, no, nat gas is going down. So if we're trying to go long, large speculators are betting that it's going to go down. They could be wrong, and this thing could go higher and squeeze them out, and they'll eventually have to change their, position and their thesis. But as of now, large speculators are short, and commercial are buying, thinking that nat gas is going to go down because they like to hedge. Now, if you reverse that psychology and say, like, well, maybe commercial know that nat gas is going to go higher, they're going to buy it. Yeah, that's very possible. But traditionally, they like to hedge. That's what I've been told. That's what I've hear. They like to hedge. So when nat gas goes up, commercial likes to, short. They just like to hedge. And large speculators will follow nat gas when it goes higher. But so far, we're in this area, and you can see that you could put a trend line or an angle trend line, and you can see that it might probably continue going higher and might hit some resistance. So that goes against the bulls in regards to trying to go long when large speculators are betting against you that it's going to go down. Elliott wave, from the last that I remember, once I get all this data in there, I don't know if the numbers are going to change, but it was supposed to be, 3, 4, and then a 5 going down, which kind of lines up with the large speculators going short. But if this thing is going to start trending higher, then that count is going to change. And I have to see what that new count is going to be, or wherever it's going to adjust. So with this chart right here, and we can zoom in a little more, I am speculating that if we continue going higher and we take this out, chances out we might top out somewhere around November 7th. And this is just speculation. This is using a Gann theory that I use, a technique of just speculation. So when you see my videos and you see my little shorts and this and that, I'm throwing you things that I am aware of, and I have all these probabilities in my head, and I'm just tossing ideas back and forth, and aware of all the techniques and thinking what Elliott wave guys are seeing, what the cycles are showing, spectrum and harmonics, and looking at, just a lot of stuff I look at. And this is the good thing about having a computer, because you can put all these inputs and all these models and train it, and could kind of help you doing all that. And I'm kind of like working on a system like that. But manually, I kind of like have hands-on. So I'm kind of like in the way, like feeling the movements of the market, because I'm on it. I'm like, okay, I'm looking at this, I'm looking at that. So I'm juggling, probabilities, so if it's going to go up, and I know we have a change of contract, and if we take that high out, chances are that this could be a possible turning point, if it turns. We don't know yet. So this is the early stages of it. the next thing is that my angles, this is a strong area, $3. You know, you could get there and stall going into November 7th and then pull back and fill this gap. That's very possible. My SR, let's go back to here. SR, my swing chart. So I said this was going to be an interesting day, and I gave you guys heads up. So you got, no excuse. October the 27th is going to be volatile, or, pretty much thunderstorms, earthquakes, tsunamis, everything. So it's going to be pretty much negative. On top of that, statistically, because this is a Gann technique I use. So this is, different from statistical analysis, but when you get them all clustering, I think I feel, in my opinion, I get like a better edge. So knowing this in advance and looking at price action and the way they slammed it down, at the same token, a change of contract. And now that we hear, this is another date you want to keep an eye on. This is like the same thing like happened today. Earthquakes, thunderstorms, tsunamis, tornadoes, whatever, hail. We start going up, watch it, because this could get, where it could stall it. Maybe we could just do a double top here. And, it could go down. Not guaranteeing it, it's not the crystal ball, but you'll see in my research and my analysis that, if there's any day they could probably stall, it could probably be on this day. And this is more Gann stuff that I do. So I think that's it. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. Let's go into the midpoint. And the midpoint is going to be interesting because look at this bad boy. Because the change of contract, all this thing gets all whacked out. So I have to go back now to the actual December contract and kind of get a gauge here. So we are at 285 all the way down here. The mobile's a little negative. PPSL signal on the daily, kind of chop. Almost found support here at that 278, but didn't really kiss it. So, but let's look at the weekly. So we failed 290. They pushed it down. In order for us to continue grinding higher and have a high probability at least testing this and maybe push higher, we need to get above 290. If we in the overnight session go like this, Tuesday, install here and then take out this low, it's going to get ugly. We don't want to take out this low. We don't want to take out this 25% level of 283. We want to, and we are below around 285. So we could get above 285. We have a fighting chance to get to 290. Once we get to 290, this is where the real fight's going to start. Because you're at your weekly midpoint. We got all week to get above this point, this level. We could get above here. We have a fighting chance to at least get to, if anything, $3 and test this high right here. So you can see the mobiles are negative. Stokes unwind really good. And for the overnight session, looks like this is our low right here of 280. We don't want to take that out this in the overnight. So we won't, if anything, let's just go sideways. Let's find support right here around 283. Bounce back and forth, here to like 286, so just slowly here until somewhere around maybe 2 or 3 in the morning. You can look in the, what happened over here, this, somewhere around 8 o'clock, 7, 8, this is when it starts getting, action. It just dwindles. So between 7 and 8, things kind of start picking up, but that all depends. Maybe the London boys start moving things. But if we could get above here, your midpoint, we need to close above 292, pretty much 290, 292. This is your midpoint on the weekly, and this is your midpoint for Tuesday only. So we want to get above and push higher 290, or maybe test this 200 moving average even to 298. Worst case scenario, if they're going to push it lower, targets to the downside would be 267 all the way to 274. So it'd be a nice slam dunk, or maybe sideways. Wait for the US, hit 50 midpoint, and then slam it down. Or kind of be quiet here and then start waking up, hit 50, chop around here, continue going higher, and then we'll see from there. And I think that's it. You can see the 1 hour is already slowly waking up, but that's about it. Sorry for being so long, but I just wanted to kind of catch up. I had some questions and just kind of letting you know my thoughts. Rep projection line that I have, bullish, and we had to see price action follow that. What's bearish and negative for the bulls is that large speculators are against you. Seasonality is already in that range where it gets toppy. But could be maybe November. Maybe the Black Widow wants to get some early bears and then push it lower. Or maybe she's already going to start doing her thing and push it lower now. So we don't know yet until we start taking out some key levels. Like especially this low. We don't want to even touch that low if we want to go higher, nor 271. We want to kind of be playing here and maybe retest and maybe push to test maybe this high up here. But it's not 341, but the, you know what I'm saying, from my other chart where everything kind of connects. Where is that? Yeah, right here. This one. $3. And this is your midpoint for the whole year. This sucker right here. 316, 315, 316. At least get up here somewhere, maybe November. And then see, maybe this is where she was like, all right, it's time to go to bed and do her thing. Now, what will avoid it, like I said, is that this is not the year I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to party like a rock star and continue going higher and pushing through November and December, grinding sideways to higher into January and just keeping doing her thing. That will avoid everything. She's like, I'm not following no seasonality. I'm going to go higher. So I'll leave it like that. I'm going to sign out. Hopefully you like this video, and I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on that gas.